do this top one up here, guys. Ready? Now you don't have to write Y on your board or anything, but you have to answer who is correct, A or B. Go ahead. You need your clicker. How many people got it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me know when that thing says 12 where it says 11 right now.
Can I have one? You can give me like. I'll take one.
You guys be right.
I'll take 2. I think it can. I'll take 6. I'll take 8. It says 12.
I'll take 1.
I'll take 1.
I'll take 1.
I'll take 2.
I'll take first one. Oh, it's 12.
Hey, it has to be quiet while I'm going over it though. Listen. I don't know how long it's been going. I'm sorry. If there's a big blank spot in the video, that's why, because I had it recorded. Okay, so let's see who is correct here. Okay, everybody seems to say that A was correct, so it must be correct. So basically, when you get this though, you should probably do some edge pieces, right? And just kind of make sure you remember that there are 5 balloons and there are 6 stars. And then you look and say, well, Mike is saying that the ratio of stars to balloons, so he puts stars first, and then 5 comes first. So are there 5 stars, guys?
Yeah.
No. There's 6 stars.
There are 6 stars.
So wait, no.
So he was saying he did it backwards. So I was. Wait, how did you guys answer this?
I just knew it.
Oh, you guys are doing this one down here?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, good job. Yes, that is definitely a part to whole ratio. Good job. Okay. Now let's go up and do this one up here that I meant for you to do. Okay, and I'm going to tell you that Mike is going to be letter A, and Max is going to be letter B. Okay, go ahead. Okay, we look here. Correct answer was, oh boy.
B.
Okay, this is what I worry about because this is very much reading here, guys. We just got to be real careful readers when we're doing this tomorrow. There's going to be a question just like this on the Sunday. Okay, just relax. Okay, it says right here that there are 5 balloons and 6 stars. So we know there are 5 balloons. We know there are 6 stars. Okay, now we just got to look and we got to line up. Okay, so like Mike is saying that the stars, he puts stars first, so therefore 5 goes with stars, right? And then he says balloons second, so he says 6 second. So is Mike saying the correct ratio, guys? No, Mike is wrong. Okay, whereas Max is actually saying the ratio of stars. He puts stars first and then says put 6 first. So that's true. And then he says balloon second, puts 5 second, and that's true. So definitely Max was correct here, and that would be letter B.
Mike is correct.
Okay. All right. Simplify this ratio right here. When you put them into your clicker, they have to be in fraction form, though, remember. Okay, I'm ending it. All right, so for the people that did get in, you did all get it correct. All you're doing is simplifying on this, guys. I mean, this goes back to fractions or anything. So 16 to 22 is your fraction form ratio. Then you just got to find a factor that they share. Well, they're both even. That makes it a lot easier, right? And when you do that, you get 8 to 11, which then you might have to do a little bit of work. But because one of the two numbers is odd, I only need to check 3, 5, and 7, right? And I know that none of those will divide it because 11 is prime. So that is simplified. Okay? Everybody got that?
Hello, Colin.
Thank you for showing me
If you're watching this, I love you.
Okay. This right here is a unit rate question. Okay, you're going to have several of them on the test. Okay, unit rate. This right here is what we call the fake ratio, right? It's just what's given to you. Now, we all know that we're going to have to do a proportion here with 1 in the bottom right. That's anytime you're doing unit rate, you have to do a proportion. Now, how many different unit rates does this ratio have? How many different unit rates does this ratio right here have? Get a whiteboard in your clicker and a marker. Rhea?
2.
It has 2. We can figure out the amount of miles per 1 hour, or we can figure out the amount of hours per mile, right? Either one. Okay? What this is going to be, the one that we're going to find, is all about what the question's asking for. So it says how many miles per hour, right, guys? So because it says per means 1, right, everybody? So we know that hours are going to go into the bottom, and then miles are going to go into the top. Okay? Now we're going to put our fake ratio on there, which is going to be 12 miles for 4 hours. Okay? Everybody see that? What am I doing to my number of hours here? Bella? Divided by 4. So what do we have to do here? Divide by 4. Definition of equivalent ratios or fractions says you must do the same thing to both the top and the bottom, or the first or the second term of the ratio. So we're going to get 3 miles per 1 hour. Right, everybody?
Yes.
But you have to show this work.
Yes.
Yes, you do. Okay? So, we are going to go ahead and do this one right here, maybe. Okay. You'll answer the question. So listen up. Okay. So, this question could very well be on the test. Now, it looks like there's 2 different answers, but guess what? It's not. Those are both correct. Just one person put 0 in front, and the others didn't. So that's okay. So let's talk about how we got it, because there was a couple that didn't get to finish. It says right here, how much per pencil? That's a dead giveaway that we are talking about pencils, or I'm sorry, 1 pencil, and we are trying to find the cost, this is what we're trying to find, right? The cost of 1 pencil. So we know our labels are going to be pencils on the bottom, money on the top, right, everybody? And then we are going to put our fake ratio on here, which is $7.50 for 12. Dozen is 12. And then we're going to divide 12 here, because anytime we're going to 1 from a number, we have to divide the number by itself. So 12 divided by 12 is 1. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Divide by 12 there. And that's going to give us our answer. So when we do that, I'm going to get this calculator out so we can all see it. We're going to take $7.50 divided by 12, and that's going to give us 0.625, which we know money goes to this many places, right, everybody? So that's either going to be 62 cents or 63. Rounding rules tell us that this is 5 or more, so we got to raise the score. So 63 cents. Are we understanding that?
Yes, we are.
All right. Okay. So everybody watch. So I'm going to take 2 ratios here. Now I'm going to make these very simple, okay? Very, very, very simple. So let's take like 1 to 3, and we'll say 4 to 12. What do you guys think? Do you think those are equivalent right now, just looking at them? Yes, because I think you guys can all see that multiplying by 4, right? Now that method right there of being able to tell what you're multiplying by, I call that the little fourth method. It does not always work, therefore I don't want you to rely on that method, okay? But I'm only showing you this because I want you to realize that they are equivalent. So, once again, are 1 to 3 and 4 to 12 equivalent with each other? Yes, they are. So now, let's go through the big 3 of the methods. On the test, you are going to have to show me 2 of these 3. Now, if you really want to, you can just do all 3 if you want. I don't care. But you have to show 2. I will check for 2. Okay, now, the first one, and I think the easiest, is called cross products. Okay, cross products is when you just look at your 2 that are in fraction form, and you just multiply diagonally. It's kind of a trick. What's 3 times 4, everyone?
12.
What's 12 times 1?
12.
So based on that right there, are they equivalent? Yes, they are. Okay, what's the next method of the big 3, Jack? We can divide them, because we know all fractions are division problems, therefore all ratios written as fractions are. So when we do 1 divided by 3, we're going to get 0.3 repeating in our calculator. When we do 4 divided by 12, we're going to get 0.3 repeating in our calculator. Okay, everybody got that? So that's the second one. So based on that, did we get the same quotients? Yes, we did. What's the third of the big three, Cohen?
Simple.
We can just simplify them. Now, what do you guys know about 1 to 3 already? Isn't it already simplified? Okay, that's fine. So now we just got to simplify this. So what factor does 4 and 12 share, Christian?
They both share 2.
They share 2. Good job. Which would make it 2 to 6, but is that the simplest form? Or do they share something too, Christian?
They both share something. Or no.
Yep.
Oh, wait.
They're even, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So you get 1 to 3 and 1 to 3, right? Do they have the same simplified ratio? So there we go. There's your big 3 methods. You have to do 2 of them. I would encourage all of you guys to use this method. And then I think this one will be the second easiest, only because this one you might simplify incorrectly or something like that. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it could happen. Okay? So let's practice one of those now. Okay? So go ahead and hit end here. Yes, it is definitely going to be not equal. These are not equivalent. B, no, they aren't equal. Okay? So let's go through the big 3 methods. Okay? We got cross products, so that's just where we're going to multiply diagonally. Okay? So what's 24 times 25? Anybody want to give it to me, Braden? Okay, thank you. Christian.
Wait, the first one? Wait.
Is it this
75 and
675 and
600.
600? Okay, good. So right there, that proves that they are not equal. Okay, number 2 would be to simplify them. Okay, what factor does 15 and 24 share? Rhea?
They both share 3.
Yep, so that's going to be a 5 to 8 ratio. What factor does 25 and 45 share, Jack?
They share 5.
Yep, and that's going to end up being a 5 to 9 ratio. So you can see that, are they the same based on that? No. So again, we eliminate that one. The last one's going to be to divide. Yep, Rhea, what's up?
45 times 15 is 605.
Oh, my backwards. Okay, sorry about that. There we go. And then finally, dividing them. 15 divided by 24, what's that going to give me? Yep.
It's closed right now.
0.625, right? And then 25 divided by 45, what's that going to give me? Rhea? 0.5 repeating, okay. So, regardless, you can see they're not the same. So we just did, you can pick any of the, you can pick 2 of the 3 methods there. Okay? 2 of the 3 methods. All right. We start the recording. 250 V-Bucks for $13.75. That's going to be our fake ratio, right? Then it's all about this. And guys, the setup should be the hard part. And then really the calculation part, since you're using your calculator, shouldn't be any issue. Because it says per V-Buck, that is a dead giveaway that we're talking about V-Bucks being right there, right? Okay? And then that puts money on the top. Now, this is always going to be our fake ratio. The first one will always be our fake ratio, which comes from right here. So, we know it costs $13.75 for 250 V-Bucks, okay? Now, what are we doing to our number of V-Bucks here? What are we doing? Rhea? Dividing by 250. See, Connor, you see how you got yours upside down there? You did per dollar. Okay? So now we got to divide it up here. And does the order in which you divide these matter?
Yes.
I see people writing stuff and doing other things. I need you with me, please. So we're doing this divided by this. So when you do that, we do 1375 divided by 250, and we get this number. Now, this is money, remember. How many places does money go to? How many places does money go to? Bella? 2. So this is either going to be 5 cents or 6 cents. It is going to, this 5 tells this 5 to go up to a 6. So this is going to be 0 and 6 cents, or just 0.06. Okay, so going back to the answer now, it is going to be 0.06 right there. So we had the 6 of you got it correct. We had 0.1. That person's rounding to the tenths. We never round money to the tenths. It's always to the hundredths.
Same with the person next to it.
Okay, these 2 people both rounded wrong. You had the right answer. And then 18, I know where that answer's coming from. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. But it's, we just got to make sure we're getting it right. So there we go. Everybody understand that? That would be the cost per V-Buck. Everybody got that?
Got it.
Okay, so Here we go. Now, the correct answer, guys, I said that you guys have to round to the hundreds. Okay, so all you people that put 18, you're rounding the nearest whole number. I'm not sure why. Okay, you have to round to the hundreds. Okay, so we'll set it up here, though, regardless. So we know, since it says per dollar, we know dollars are going to be on the bottom, V-bucks on the top. Okay, fake ratio says that we can get 250 up to 1375, which means we're dividing by 1375, right? So we got 250 divided by 1375, and that's going to give us 18.181818 forever. We are rounding right here, so that is why everything's going to be rounded to the hundreds. You have to go. Okay, everybody understand that? Now, really quickly, don't show any work at all. I don't want any work. I want to know which one of these two makes more sense, more useful in real life. This one or this one?
A or B? In your clicker, A or B?
A or B? Shh. Shh. Go back to your, get out of the chair. Hey, get out of the chair. Which one makes more sense? Which one's more useful or practical? Okay. All right, here we go. So, yes, the correct answer was definitely A, makes more sense. The reason why, guys, listen, shh, is if I walked in, or, well, see, it's not a store, so this one's a little different than the ones I've done before, but could I come up with 6 cents? Yep, a nickel and a penny would buy me 1 V-buck. But if I go in to wherever you buy this from, I don't even know, and I try to pay $1, I can't get that many V-bucks, right? So that's why the top one's going to make more sense in this case. Okay?
PlayStation Store.
No, there's no Xbox.
Good idea.
Here we go. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to end it. Uh-oh.
Oh no, it crashed.
Please tell me I don't lose it. All right, so again, all we have to do is identify what the label is going to be per what. Like, what are we trying to figure out? Are we trying to figure out per dollar, or are we trying to figure out per hat? But it says right here per hat, so that puts hats on the bottom, that puts money on the top, and that's going to be $42 for 3 hats. Now we're just dividing 3, and we are going to get $14 per hat, right? Now, real quick, we're just going to do this one together. How many hats would you get for $1? So now, since that says $1, we're going to put, there's some of you not listening to me right now. Please be with me. You shouldn't be writing anything. You should be watching, okay? Dollars on the bottom, hats, hats. Now, we have 3 hats for $42. Now, what are we doing to our amount of money? We're dividing by 42, right? Dividing by 42. So then when we do 3 divided by 42, that is going to give me, oops, hang on. Got too many things up here. 3 divided by 42 is going to give me that big long number right there. So we're going to round to the hundreds, which is either going to be 0.07 or 0.08, and it's going to be 0.07. Now, I want everybody to answer the question again. Which one of these two makes more sense, A or B? Go ahead and key that in, please. Okay, so here we go. Man, guys, 2 people said it was B. If you were one of the 2 people that said it was B, guys, you're not. We got to think about what this is saying. Okay, this is saying that 1 hat costs $14. $14 per hat. That makes sense. If we know that at Lids it's $42 for 3 of them, but yet we can get 1 for $14, that's great. That's good news. I can go there and actually buy 1 hat. I can pull out $14 out of my wallet and pay for that 1 hat. If I go into Lids and I pull out a $1 bill and I say, hey, I need 0.07 of a hat, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. They're going to just give me the tag or something. Okay? It's not even going to be the whole hat. They can't do it. This makes no sense in the real world. Okay? Are we getting that? So the first one's going to be, we should have always do edge piece. That should be the first thing we're going to do. So who wants to give me 1 edge piece from this right here, please? Grace? 3 basketballs. Okay, give me another edge piece, Gabby. Okay, 1 soccer ball. Give me another edge piece, please, Roosevelt. 4 volleyballs. Can you give me another edge piece, Ella? 17 baseballs. Who can give me, there's 1 additional edge piece that you can get from that, Braden? Yeah, 25 total, right? 25 total balls. So now it says, what is the ratio of soccer balls to volleyballs? Does order matter when we're doing ratios? So if soccer balls comes first, do we have to give the number of soccer balls first? So we know that's going to be 1 to what? 1 to 4 ratio. That's not 1/4. It's 1 to 4. But you'll have to always type your ratios in fraction form. So going back to our answers that you guys got, most of you did get it correct. 1 to 4 was your answer. We did have somebody to put 4 to 17. Whoops. There we go. So that person, 4 to 17, what would that be? Who can tell me what would 4 to 17 be? Raise your hand. I would like to hear. Go ahead.
Volleyball, baseball.
Yeah, volleyball's and baseball's good. So that's not too terribly difficult there, I don't believe. Okay, let's do. You can leave your edge pieces if you had them on your board. You can leave them. Let's do number. Actually, I want to do number 5. No, I want to do number 5. Go ahead. No work required or anything. You can just type it in your clicker. You don't even have to put the answer on your board. Okay, so we'll see how we did on number 5 here. Correct answer. Good job. 4 to 17. So that was actually the one we just did, or what that one person did. So yeah, 4 to 17. Pretty simple there. Okay, let's go down here now. I would like you guys to do number 7, please. It's just A or B. Part to part, part to whole. No work required. Okay, listen up, please. Okay, correct answer is definitely A. Good job. It seems like we got a good grasp on these things. Yeah, those ducks in no way make up the amount of piece that are there, right? 2 separate things. All right, now go ahead and do number 8, please. Go ahead. No work required. There. The correct answer is definitely going to be B. That's, yeah, those 35 cardinals make up the 80 birds there. So those, pretty simple there, I think. I do want to do one additional problem here. And right here, I would like you guys to do number 2. Go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're kind of all over the place with our answers here. So we'll come back to, I'll put the right answer here in just a minute. So you should have done edge pieces with 6 basketballs, 4 volleyballs, 12 baseballs, and 8 soccer balls. And then what would be the total? Yep, 30. So now we're just looking and saying, okay, what's it asking for? So it asks for baseballs first, so we go up and say, okay, it's going to be 12 baseballs out of the total amount of balls, so that would be 30. Now, of course, we need to simplify it. So as I look through here, I see 2 of you left it as 12 to 30, or 12 out of 30. Okay, you didn't give it to me simplified. So now some people, they said, okay, they're both even, so I'm gonna divide them both by 2 and get 6 to 15. That's my ratio. And then we did have some of you that said, yep, the answer is 6 to 15. One person. Okay, that isn't right either because that's not the simplest form. We've got to then divide it by 3 to each part, or you could have divided by 6 in the beginning. Either way, we end up getting 2 to 5. So the correct answer here is a 2 to 5 ratio. Okay, which 6 of you did get correct. Had about 5 of you get it wrong. Okay? All right. Let's do down here. Now, we are going to do this one right here. Number 6. We're doing number 6. Okay? It's just going to be yes or no. It's just going to be A or B. But you have to prove on your board, you have to use 2 of the big 3 methods. You have to use 2 of them. Okay? Go ahead and get it done. Don't key it in until you've used 2 of the big 3 methods. All right. So the correct answer is A. Okay. So we did have one person put B. So if you were that one person, we've got to talk about it. Now, who can tell me what's the first thing that I would want you to do on this question right here? What is the first thing that I would want you to do that I would really like you guys to do because I think it's going to help you? Elizabeth? Fraction form. I just think they're easy to see when you put them in fraction form like that. Okay? So, we know that it's 18 to 6, 30 to 10. Okay? So, what is the first of the big 3? What is the first of the big 3, Caitlin? Cross products, but yes. Because it's not simplifying, it's actually multiplying diagonally. I think that's the easiest one. 6 times 30 is 180. 10 times 18 is also 180. So based on that, does cross products prove that it's a true statement, guys? Yes, it does. What's the second of the big 3? Braden?
Simplify.
We can simplify them. Okay. So what factor does 18 and 6 share? Jillian?
6.
They share a 6. Good. And we would get a ratio of 3 to 1. What factor does 3 and 10 share? Ella? 10. Good job. So we're going to divide by 10 there. That's going to give us a ratio of 3 to 1. So based on that, do they have the same simplified ratio? Yes, they do. And then what's the third of the big three here? Gabby? Yeah, we know that all fractions are division problems. So this is a ratio that's written as a fraction. So we can use the same meaning. So we can do 18 divided by 6, which is going to be 3, and 30 divided by 10, which is also 3. Either way, we got the same answer. This is an example, though. Remember I talked about the big 3 and the little fourth? The little fourth, will it work here? Can you tell what you're multiplying by?
Yeah.
No? I mean, there's no whole number. There's a decimal fraction that you're multiplying by, but you are not multiplying by a whole number to go from 18 to 30 and 6 to 10. Does everybody understand that? Okay. We may come back and do another one of those here in a little bit. Same thing on this one here. You're doing number 1. So there's your ratio. You can just do the number. So you should all be writing it as 36 over 16. And oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not right. I missed. It's kind of weird how it's written. 24 over 36. 16 over 24. Okay? Go ahead. You have to show at least 2 of the methods, though. That's going to be how you're going to have to do it on the test. At least 2. Okay, so we'll hit end on this. Correct answer is definitely yes. Okay? Good job. All right, so the first step, the first of the big 3 is to do the cross product technique. Who can tell me what 36 times 16 is? 570 what? And then obviously this is going to be the same way this way, right? So there we go. That's one way that we just proved that yes, they are equivalent. Okay. What's another way you could do? Grace?
If you simplify them, they don't.
Yeah, not 2/3, but 2 to 3, right? Got to make sure we're using ratio language. That's 2 to 3. If you simplify them, and then finally the third of the big 3 is to Caden.
I did 36 times 16. I got 640. So that I got. What? I literally did zero in calculator.
Okay, 36 times 16.
Oh, 16. I did 18. Sorry.
But how am I?
How'd you get 1,000?
What'd I do?
You did 36 times 36.
Oh, whoops. I was going to say, what the heck happened there? All right, there we go. 576, and then 24 times 24 is also that. So what's the third way, though? What's the third of the big 3 here? Caitlin? Yep, divide them up. And if you do that, you would actually get 0.6 repeating there and 0.6 repeating there. Okay, so either way, doesn't matter which of the big 3 you are using, you're going to get it right. You're going to prove that they are definitely equivalent. So I can buy 6 shirts for $300. How much does it cost per shirt? You must show this proportion here. Okay. So there's your question there. The correct answer was definitely 50, which the numbers made this one pretty easy as far as there was no rounding or anything. Now this one person, I can show you what that one person did. Now, this right here, it's all about this language right here. Since that says per shirt, that gives it away that shirts are going to go onto the bottom because we want to figure out the cost per shirt, right? That's what we want to figure out. So our fake ratio is saying it is $300 for 6 shirts. Now, what are we doing to our number of shirts here? We are dividing our number of shirts by 6. That's the only way we can go from the number to 1 is by dividing the number by itself. Okay, now we have to do whatever we did at the bottom, we must do to the top because they're equivalent, right? That's the definition of equivalent ratios or fractions, either one. And then when you do 300 divided by 6, you are going to get $50 a shirt. Everybody agree with that? Okay, so here's going to be your next question now. Pay attention here, what I do. So watch. So I'm going to bring this down, and we're going to change the question. We're going to use the same fake ratio, but we're going to see how many shirts can I get for $1. Go ahead, do it. How many shirts can I get for $1? And rounding to the 100th. Okay, so we have 12 answers then. So here we go. The correct answer was 0.02. Okay, that would be the correct answer. Now, we have a couple versions of that. We did have one person right here, but if you put a 0 at the end like that, I'm going to count it wrong, or half off anyway. Because we're talking, or no, I'm sorry, no, I wouldn't. That's fine, never mind. If it were money, I would. But all three of those are appropriate. Now we had one person that had .025. Now I don't exactly know where that number came from. And then .17, I definitely don't know where that came from. So let's look. It says for $1. So there we go. What labels are going to be on the bottom then? Dollars are going to be on the bottom. So that means what label goes into the top? Shirts, right? So then we put our fake ratio of 6 shirts for $300. Now we are dividing by 300. We've got to divide by 300 there. Now I'm going to pull out the calculator. We do 6 divided by 300, and that is going to give me 200. So 200. Okay? Now, real quick, without doing any work, I don't want you to show any work or anything. This is going to be letter A. This is going to be letter B, okay? Which one of these two makes more sense? Go ahead, A or B. Which one makes more sense or is more useful in the real world? Let's see, everybody put A. Good job. The reason why it's most definitely A is because if I have $50, can I go in and buy one shirt at the store? Sure I can. But if I have $1, are they going to sell me that much of a shirt? No, they are not. No, they are not. Okay? All right. Okay, so we were trying to figure out how many pickles I can get for $1 here. And you can see we got some different answers, 1.43. Now, we had 3 people still missing here. So let's talk about it. Notice how it says, how many pickles do I get for $1? Because it says for $1, for $1, we know that we're talking about money going on the bottom. Okay? Then we can just build from our fake ratio. And we're like, how many pickles are we talking about? Well, we're talking about 25. And then how much money are we talking about? Well, we're talking about $17.53. So what are we doing to our amount of money? We are dividing by 17.53. So what do we got to do to 25? In the order in which you divide these, does it matter?
No. Yes.
Yes, you have to do this divided by this. So when you do that, you end up getting, move this out of the way a little bit. So it is it's 30 or 25 divided by 1753, right? There we go. And you can look and see if you're rounding to the hundreds, it's either going to be 1 in 42 hundredths or 1 in 43 hundredths. That 6 is definitely 5 or more, so it would be 1 in 43 hundredths. So that would go right there, 1 in 43 hundredths. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and go down and do the next one down here. Now, if you should be starting right there, and then you should be identifying what it says. And that should help you put your labels on there. That's why labels are so important. Go ahead. All right, so now we're trying to figure out the cost per pickle. Okay? And we have 3 bars here, but 2 of them are right. So it's just one of them put 0.70 and the other one put just 0.70. So both those are correct. Now we had 3 of you. 3 people. I have said over and over, you have to round to the hundredths. We've got to be with me. We've got to make sure we're getting that down. I mean, first of all, this is money. I mean, money is always to the hundreds. You've never seen this amount of, I don't remember what it was now. I mean, you've never seen that amount of money. Like, there are no coins that represent those place values. So that's either 71 or 72 cents. And in this case, it's going to be 70 cents. Okay? Are we all understanding this? Yeah. So, now, A or B. Which one of these is more useful in the real world? Go ahead, real quick here. Quick. Which one's more useful? Which one's more actually makes sense? Okay, let's look at it. Almost all of you said B, but we had 2 people say A. Guys, when I talk about what's making more sense, what I'm talking about is, if I went to the store, and could I come up with 70 cents for 1 pickle? Sure I could, right? But could I walk into the store with $1 and get that many pickles? Are they going to do that? No, they're not. Now, maybe you could almost say neither of them makes sense, because you couldn't really bust open the jar and just take 1 pickle either. But that would at least make sense as far as the you can have partial money. You can't have partial pickles, I guess. All right. Let me see. Everybody go ahead and do it. 81 miles in 9 hours. How many miles per hour? All right. Ended here. Okay, the correct answer definitely would be 9. There's a few people that are really struggling here with unit rate and understanding what we're doing with unit rate. And if you're one of those people, you've got to really focus in. for anybody in this room that got that 0.1 or whatever it was, you are figuring out, let me get rid of this so we can all understand what we're doing. Let me get this out of here so it's not confusing us. Okay? If you got one of these two answers, if you got 0.1 or 0.1 right there, what you're doing is you're finding 1, but you're basically doing this. You're putting 9 and 81 there, and you're dividing 9 by 81. Okay, you are actually, what you're doing, because I'm assuming you're probably not doing labels, you are figuring out the amount of hours per mile. That's what you're figuring out. The amount of hours per mile, which is a unit rate, but that's not the unit rate we want, because it says per hour, so we're talking about per 1 hour. So that means per means 1, hours go there, hours there, miles there, and then it's 81 over 9. And then we are dividing by 9 to go from 9 hours to 1 hour. We're dividing by 9 there. It's going to give us 9 miles per hour. If you got 0.1, you should have just asked yourself, does that even make sense that I'm traveling 0.1 miles in 1 hour if I'm going that 81 miles in 9 hours? Okay? Got to understand the per and what we're doing there. Hang on. Simplify. That one right there. Go ahead. Sure. All right, now we got a bar model here, so I'm going to end this. And the correct answer is 96. Okay? Okay, now, let's talk about how we got 96. So we know that there were 132 people that were surveyed in total here. Okay? So we know the ratio is 3 voted for baseball for every 8 soccer. But this is the key right here. We've got to divide this number up, right? And we need to determine whether that's representing just the 3 baseball squares, the 8 soccer squares, or all 11 squares. And what is it? All 11, which puts 12 in each one. Is it 12? 12 in each one of these. And then we're trying to figure out how many voted for soccer. We're going to do 12 times 8, which is going to give us 96. The question is, let me pull this, get rid of this. We wanted to know what the ratio of volleyballs to basketballs was. Okay? It's right there. What is the ratio of volleyballs to basketballs? This is no different than the Billy and Anna question from the formative, right? Which one, like, what comes first, stars or balloons or whatever? So, pulling this back up here, we know that, actually, let me get rid of it again, sorry. We know that whenever you see this, this is just fake information, right, guys? The first thing you should have done, how many of you actually did edge pieces? Good job if you did. If you didn't, make a little note to yourself to always include these edge pieces. So we know there are 3 basketballs, and then we know there were 4 volleyballs, and we know there are 17 baseballs, and we know there's 1 soccer ball. So what else do we know? What's the final edge piece that we can conclude here from this? Anybody know the final edge piece? Anybody? Landon? Yeah, there's 25 total balls in total there. So 25 total. Not that we need that yet, but we might here in a minute. So now it's all about just looking at your edge pieces here. Remember your corner pieces of the puzzle, and just applying what we know. Okay? What is the ratio of volleyballs to basketballs? And we just got to remember that order matters. If we ask for volleyballs first, then we must give volleyballs first, which is 4. Okay? And then it asks for basketball second, so we must do basketball second. So we are going to show it in fraction form, but just remember, there are 3 different ways to write a ratio, and those are the 3 ways. Okay? So the correct answer here would be 4 to 3, like that. For those of you that did 4 to 17, you just evidently misread it. Actually, who can tell me? What would 4 to 17 be? What would 4 to 17, Lana? And that would be volleyballs to baseballs. Okay, so we just misread it, it seems to me. Okay, so let's go ahead and try number 4. Let's do number 4. Go ahead. Okay, so now we did number 4 here, so let's see how we did. Okay, the correct answer was 17 to 4. Okay, So we had some wrong answers. So pay attention if you're one of those answers. Now, I went ahead and erased my edge pieces. I wish I wouldn't have. But we want to know the ratio of baseballs to the ratio of volleyballs. And then we just got to remember that order matters, right? So how many baseballs are there up there, guys? 17. And then how many volleyballs are there? So it's got to be a 17 to 4 ratio. So these other answers, we have one person that said 3 to 17. Wouldn't that be the amount of basketballs to volleyballs? We're just not being careful readers, plain and simple, okay? And then we also had somebody said 3 to 4. That would be the amount of basketballs to volleyballs. So, I'm sorry. 3 to 17 would be basketballs. Okay, yeah. So then what would 4 to... Okay, so we were just mistaking basketballs for baseballs, it looks like there. So we just got to make sure we're reading carefully, guys. Those are generally supposed to be easier questions, okay? All right, here we go. A or B on this one down here. We're going to do number 6. Go ahead. Record. Okay, so we had to determine whether it was a part-to-part or a part-to-whole ratio. That would definitely be a part-to-whole. And the reason why is because here we have 12 boys. Do those 12 boys make up the 20 students there? Yeah, 12 of those 20 are boys. The other 8 are girls, right? Everybody understand that? Okay, let's do one more. Let's do number 9. Go ahead. A or B. Go ahead. Okay, all in. Okay, here we go. Good. Part to part. Very nice. Okay, I don't think there was too much concern with that on the formative, but I just wanted to go over a few just to make sure. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Now notice all the edge pieces are different here. So everybody, the first thing you should do for number 1 here is you all should be doing your edge pieces. These numbers are different than they were before. Okay, so everybody do your edge pieces first and foremost. Forward here. All right, so hit in. Okay, 4/30ths. Okay, everybody would probably assume that's correct. However, it is not correct. The correct answer is the only 2 of you in this room got it correct. So we need to pay attention and read our instructions. Okay, first off, I went ahead and did the edge pieces here, right? So I went ahead and did my parts, my 6 basketballs, my 4 volleyballs, my 12 baseballs, my 8 soccer balls. But what's that final edge piece that we can determine from this? Ready? Yeah, we can find the total amount of balls that are in this, wherever it is, this room or whatever it's in. Okay, and how many total balls are there? There are 30 total, right? So now, what is the ratio of volleyballs to total? Okay, well that's not that hard because we just went over the fact that order matters, and we just got to look and say, okay, well we got 4 volleyballs and we got 30 total. So yeah, 4 to 30. Why is that incorrect, Landon? Because it says in bold and underline that you have to represent these in simplest form. Okay? So we would have to then simplify this by taking the GCF out of those 2, which is going to be 2. And we're going to end up with a ratio of 2 to 15. So that is 2 volleyballs for every 15 total balls, right? Does everybody understand that? Okay? Then let's go ahead and do... Oops. Hang on a second. I would like you guys to right now go ahead and do number 2 then, please. Do number 2. Okay, let's see how we did for number 2 there. All right. Some of you, I'm not sure if you're not with me or what exactly is going, but these 2 groups right here, you got the answer correct. 2 to 5 is the exact same ratio as 6 to 15, but you didn't simplify. And I sat and talked about the importance of simplifying. Okay, and then 12 to 18, I'm not sure where that number came from. So here we have the ratio of baseballs to total. So yeah, you look down here at your fake information, and you see, okay, yeah, it is going to be 12 to 30, right? And then that's going to simplify. A lot of people are going to go ahead and do divide by 2, divide by 2. You're going to get 6 over 15, and then people go, okay, I must be done. But guess what? This is not the greatest common factor of 12 and 30. Actually, 6 is, right? So now we've got to go farther with this. We have to realize that they both share a 3, which is going to give us the ratio of 2 to 5. So the people that did this, you simplified one time, but you did not put it in simplest form. Okay? Are we understanding this? Okay, good. Okay, let's, I want you, now, listen closely to my instructions here. Okay? You guys are now going to do number 5. Okay? Now, you're going to put just yes or no into your clicker. Okay? I want to make sure everybody knows this. But, on your board, you must show 2 methods. At least 2 methods. If you want to show all 3, that's fine. But I need to see at least 2 of the big 3 methods. I need to see 2 of the big 3. Okay? And then just put A or B into your clicker. Go ahead. The first thing that all of you should be doing right now is everybody should have been taking those ratios and doing what to them? Putting them into fraction form. That should be the first step that we should all do. So that's the, you don't even have to put the labels on there. Who cares about the labels right now? Okay? 12 to 36. That's how I want you to write it out. Now, I want you to do 2 of the big 3 methods, and I'm going to come around and check to make sure you're doing that. Okay, so here's our results. Everybody in the room selected A. Good job. I'm still going to go through the big 3 just to refresh your minds on this. Now, remember how I've been calling this the big 3 and the little fourth? Right? I've been going over that over and over again. This is one where the little fourth won't work. Yeah, if it's one like this, like a ratio of 2 to 3 and 6 to 9, those are the little fourth works, right? Times 3 times 3. Right, guys? But that method will not always work. That's why I call it the little fourth. So I really want you guys to focus on the big 3. I don't want you to use the little fourth. I want you to use 2 of the big 3. Now, personally, I think the easiest one of the big 3 is cross products. That's when you just multiply diagonally after you've written them. So who can tell me, what was 75 times 12? Ansley? What is it? 900. And then obviously, since these are equivalent, this is going to be 900 as well, right? So based on that right there, are they equivalent? Yes, let's go to number 2. That is where you know that all fractions are division problems, so therefore all ratios are also division problems. So we're going to just do 25, and we're going to divide it by 75 to see what that gives us. What does that give us? Yeah? 0.3 repeating. So this better give us 0.3 repeating, does it? Yes, it does. And then the third of the big 3 methods here is to simplify. Simplify them. If I were to simplify, give me a different color, okay? 25 over 75, what factor does 25 and 75 share? Yep. They share a 25. So we're going to divide by 25 to both those. We're going to get a 1 to 3 ratio. What factor does 12 and 36 share? Ansley? They share a 12. So again, we have a 1 to 3 ratio. So it doesn't matter which of the big 3 we chose, they all showed us that they definitely are equivalent, aren't they? Everybody understand that? You could use all 3 methods on the test if you just wanted to make sure. But you got to at least use 2 of them. If you don't use 2 of them, it will be wrong. Okay? Let's go to number 7. Go ahead. A or B, but you must show 2 methods. The first thing you all should be doing is rewriting this as 42 over 64 and 32 over 21. Okay, we're all in. So listen up. Here we go. We're ending it. Everybody had B. Great job. Okay, so quick. I'm gonna do this real fast. Give me the first of the big 3. So ready? Cross products, right? What do you get when you do 64 times 32? Yeah, Grant, you got stuff? It's 1,000 something, I know. 2048. And then over here was 900 what? 82. Regardless, they're not the same. Okay, so that's one. That's a definite that they're not equal, right? So letter B. And then the other one would be to simplify them. If I divide by 6, yeah, 6. Wait. What fact? They share it 2, right? Okay, so that's going to make it 21 over 32. Do they share anything else after that? No, that is simplest form there. And then here you can see that they're the same numbers. It's just the reciprocal of it, right? Okay, so there's another B because we simplified them both. That's already in simplest form, right? And the last one would be to divide them. I can assure you of this. This one here is going to give us something 0 point something, right? This is going to give us 1 point something, right? Because you should have already automatically been able to look at it and see, wait a minute, the smaller numbers on top here, the bigger numbers on top here, can those be equivalent ever? No, if they're like bigger number on top or smaller number on top like that, they can definitely not be equivalent. Okay, let's move on. So the question here is, 10 hockey pucks cost $48. I want to know what the cost. What is the cost per puck? See how we did here, guys. So, okay, now we got some different answers here. Okay, now I can tell you that the correct answer is 4.80. Now, it's going to come up correct right here. This person put 4.8 in. But remember, we are talking about money. How many decimal places does money go to? 2. So you have to put that. It's going to count it right on your clicker, guys. It counts it right because 4.8 and 4.80 are the same number. But when I'm looking through your test grading it, and I see that, I'm taking a half point off. Okay? You have to make money go to 2 places. Okay? So, we had a couple of you say 480. We have one person say 0.20. So we have some confusion, obviously. Now, we always have to just identify labels. That's where we should always start. Because remember, that fake ratio right there, can I find 2 unit rates for it? I can figure out the cost per puck, or I can figure out the amount of pucks per dollar, right? So, since the question, you just got to read the question. Since it says per puck, we know that pucks must go on the bottom. Money is going to go in the top, and this is exactly how I want you to do your proportion here, okay? So now we go ahead and put our numbers with our labels. So money's now on top, so I'm going to put money there. I'm going to put 10 pucks there. Now, what are we doing to go from 10 to 1 puck? Grant? We're dividing it by 10. Some of you were multiplying by 10, I think, which is how you got 480. 480 would... Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you can. Okay, so we've got to divide by 10. And now when you do that in your calculator, it will say 4.8, 4 and 8 tenths. But we have to recognize, oh, this is money. So money has to go there. So that's our answer. Are we all understanding this? Okay? Because it says cost per puck, it tells us what we want to find one of. Has everybody got it? Okay. So, going off of that now, here's your next question. Here's your next question now. 10 hockey pucks cost $48. How many pucks can I get for $1? Go ahead. So, the correct answer, now there's a lot of really close answers. Now, this person here, 0.48, that was, I'm not sure where that answer came from. I think they did 48 divided by 100 for some reason. I think, I'm not sure. But regardless, there's 2 of these. These are all really close. Like all of these groups right here, all got it correct. But rounding-wise, the only people that got it right are the ones that put 2100s. Okay? And I'll explain why. So first off, we know, since it says how many pucks for $1, that tells us right away that dollars are going to go into the bottom of our proportion. Our pucks are going to go into the top now. So we're going to take our fake ratio right there, right? And we are going to say, okay, 10 pucks for $48. Now, what are we doing to our amount of dollars now? Grant? We're dividing by 48. So what do we have to do it up here? Divide by 48. Okay, so we got to do 10 divided by 48. Now, I'm going to do this in the calculator so you guys can all see it. 10 divided by 48 is going to give us that. Now, right there, we're rounding right there. You guys all did that. But is that 0 going to stay as a 0 or go to a 1?
Go to a 1.
It's going to go up. The 8 is 5 or more, so it's going to become 2100. So 0 and 2100. Now, here's my next question. Really quick one here. Which of these 2 unit rates makes more sense? A or B? Go ahead. A or B? B, you're going to have to explain it on the test as well. Not just say A or B. You're going to have to explain which one actually makes sense. Which of them is more useful, I guess, would be the proper way to write it in a question. All right, let's see how we did. Correct answer is absolutely A. Now, whoops, I mean put B. Okay, it's A. And the reason why is it's pretty simple here, okay? If I walk into a store, I go into the sports store, can I come up with $4.80 to buy 1 puck? Why can't I come up with $4.80? Yes, I can, right? We can have partial money. We can have decimal amounts of money. Do we agree? That's why we have coins. So, yeah, we can definitely go into a store and buy 1 puck. okay? But if I walk into that same sporting goods store and I walk up to the people selling the hockey pucks and I say, okay, I have $1. Can I get 21/100ths of a puck, please? They're going to think I'm crazy, right? So this one, even though, yes, this is a proper unit rate, that's true. You can get 0.21 or 21/100ths of a puck for $1. This one really doesn't help us in real life. This one, however, does. Now I know, okay, that's about how much I'm paying per puck. That would make sense. Are we all understanding that? And we're going to do another one like that right now. I can buy 12 rubber duckies for $38.25. How many rubber duckies can I get for $1? And remember, we are rounding to the hundredths, no matter what. Okay, so here we go. We know that this is the fake ratio. We're trying to figure out how many rubber duckies we get for $1. So we'll end this. Okay, the correct answer is 0.21, or I'm sorry, 0.31 31/100ths. Some of you guys aren't doing the proper problem, okay? So it says, how many rubber duckies can I get for $1? So that means we know right away that dollars are going to go onto the bottom. Rubber duckies are going to go to the top, okay? Then we put our fake ratio on there. It's going to be 12 for $38.25. What are we doing to our number of dollars? Well, we're always going to be dividing by itself because that's the only way you can get 1. So we have to do that up here. Now, the way in which you divide this, does the order matter, guys? Yes, you have to put it in that order, or you will not get it right. If you do 38.25 divided by 12, that's a different problem. So 12, come on. Come on. Please. There we go. Okay, 12 divided by 38.25 is going to give us a big long number. Now, we're rounding right there, right, everybody? So is that going to be 0.31 or 32? It's going to be 31 because that is 4 or less. So it's going to be 0.31/100. So 31/100ths of a rubber ducky for $1. Go ahead and do the next one below this now. Go ahead down here. Okay, listen up. All right, so the correct answer was 3 19/100ths, which is going to be $3.20. Now, we had some rounding issues again. That just keeps coming back, and then we had somebody have 25/100ths. I'm not exactly sure where that answer came from. So we'll talk about it. So because it says per rubber ducky, we know it's going to be rubber duckies on the bottom, right? That means money is going to be in the top, and then we just put our fake ratio on, which is right here, as we've been saying. So that's going to be 38.25 for 12 rubber duckies. We're going to divide by 12, right? And then we're going to divide by 12. Okay? So if we get our calculator out here again, it's going to be 38.25 divided by 12. That's going to give us this number. Now, we have to round to the hundredths. So is that going to be 3.18? Is it going to be 3.19? Or is it going to be 3.20? Well, if we're rounding right here, we look to the number to the right. If that number is 5 or more, then this has got to go up 1. So this is either going to be 3 18/100ths or 3 19/100ths, and it's definitely going to be 3 19/100ths, which we know is $3.19. Now, this is A, this is B. Which one of these two actually make more sense as far as real world is concerned? Which one of these could we actually use and apply to our lives? Okay, so we're going to end it. Definitely the answer is going to be B. Now, we only had one person put A. Listen up if you're that person. If you walk into the store that sells rubber duckies and you have $1, are they going to be able to sell you 31/100ths of a rubber ducky? No. So really that one, yes, it's a unit rate, but it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Whereas down here, could we come up with $3.19? Sure we could.